back in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, Drax was quite full, calling Ronan to fight him alone. That wasn't wise. What have changed in Drax in that second film?
I think the second film, Drax is he's much happier. I think he's more content. I think now he's found his pseudo family, his adopted family, and he's learning to be happy again. You know, I think in the first film he was just so full of heartbreak, so full of revenge and torment. And he was just a miserable, angry character. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think he's just, I think he wants to be happy. He's learning to be happy again.
And he's more integrated in the family that are Guardians of the Galaxy. So even gives advice to Star-Lord about love.
Right.
How was that?
It was ridiculous. It's so funny. I think Drax giving advice for anything is just going to be ridiculous. It's hard with Drax not really having a filter. I also think Drax would never, if he didn't understand something, I think he would be too proud to admit that he didn't really understand it, which is dangerous. But I think it makes for a lot of good humor. But I think, the thing you have to really remember and appreciate about Drax is no matter what he says, no matter how rude it is, there's good intent behind it. He means well, especially with the people he loves, but sometimes he just comes off like
he speaks from the heart.
Yeah, he speaks from the heart. So you love him, you forgive him for being so incredibly rude.
Is he still looking for an heroic death to join her wife and daughter?
I think so. I think so. I think at the end of the day, I think that's the core of Drax. I think he, it sounds odd, but I think he almost lives for his, his heartbreak. He lives for, revenge. I think he's just heartbroken over the loss of his family. I think he's definitely in a much better place now. He's just content, but I think that's always going to be the underlying issue with him, is he just will never find contentment again because he's just so heartbroken.
And in this film, he tells how he knew his wife. And would you like to share more about Drax's background?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's really interesting. And I also think there's a lot of laughs to be there as well, to be had as well. But I hope that they'll explore that somewhere down the line. That they were really, I would love to even see like some type of visual reference. If you have a face to put with a name, to see his wife, to see his daughter, and see, the people he loved. I think that would be something special. And I think the fans would like to see it. I'd like to see it.
And do you think that as a spin-off is possible, or Drax works better in a group?
I think Drax definitely works better in a group. I think it's possible. It's just one of those things that's hard. Now, I'm looking this, I'm answering this question as an outsider looking in, as a spectator, as a fan. It would just be hard with the timeline, with the villains in certain films, like where we go, we all have kind of the common enemy. So to dedicate that whole storyline to Drax, I just don't know if it would work. And also, I don't know if Drax is as good of a character without Star-Lord, without Rocket, without Mantis. Now, I just don't know.
You have a good chemistry with
Such
Mantis.
a great chemistry, yeah. I think if Drax on his, if he was by himself, I'm sure that creatively you could figure it out. But I'm kind of really happy with the way it is now. I like interacting with my co-stars and the characters. I'd like to tell the story more, but not at the expense of losing the Guardians.
Your role is even funnier now in that second movie. Are you comfortable with the humor of Drax?
So many jokes.
Yeah. No, I'm completely comfortable with it. Yeah.
You enjoy it?
I enjoy it very much, and it's not only just great and fun to do, but it's also really satisfying for me as a performer, because a lot of times when you're, a large person, you get typecast as a certain character or a certain type, obviously the word typecast. But so it's always great if you can be a big menacing character, but also have a heart and have a sense of humor, and also have a little bit of heartbreak, just to show off a different range. I think it makes the character more interesting. It's obviously, I could go and I could play a big, dumb, scary musclehead, and I could growl at everybody, and it would be intimidating. Would it be interesting? Probably not. Have you seen it a million times? Yes. So it's always, it makes for it's a huge opportunity for me.